You are looking live at what's time to this podcast on Thursday, August the 8th, the year of our Lord, 2024. You got two of the three unwise men sitting alongside myself, the Big O, Leon Oliver, a man who looks like he's on an LSD trip from hell. Chris Green, how are you, sir?
Another day, not enough dollars.
Is there electricity in the building that you're in?
Yes, man. I got light. I had to block it out because of the glare.
God damn it. That's like being interrogated. We actually lost a viewer when you moved your light. We lost a viewer with your police backroom interrogation light.
All right, I think I got it.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
We call this Chris's land of you're not coming back up from that basement. I don't know. And the man over here with a medium Oriole shirt on, one Scotty Too Hottie. How are you, sir?
I don't think you're the one that should be talking about schmediums.
You're in the children's section. It's okay. It's all right. Hey, look, we have synergy. Okay, you have the Big Birds, and I have I got the AAA team there.
What is that?
It's the Norfolk Tides. It's your AAA affiliate. Super.
I have never heard you talk about the Norfolk Tides, and you've mentioned them 3 times today.
Yeah, well, I just like the hat. And they used to go up to the Nets until 2007 when Baltimore ruined everything and changed the colors and made everything Fakakta looking ugly and stuff, that seahorse looking bullshit that they have now. This is the old logo, and I like it. Speaking of logos, I guess let's dive into it. Mr. Worldwide. We would use his music, but A, I would kill myself, and B, I'm sure he'll sue us and will be copyright claimed. But Pitbull, apparently Mr. Worldwide is now Mr. 305, Mr. FIU. For those that don't know at home, that would be Florida International University. Show of hands, who has heard of Florida International prior to this story?
Me.
Okay.
I've heard of them.
Well, we're all degenerates.
No clue where exactly they are, but yeah, I've heard of them.
Wasn't Lane Kiffin the coach there? Or was that Florida Atlantic?
Florida
Atlantic.
Yes,
So you didn't know who they were.
No, I didn't. I lied.
But hey, the former head coach of VCU baseball is at FIU right now, whose name slips my mind, but he's at FIU, so good for him. But so Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull, got the naming rights to Pitbull Stadium, as you can see now, a deal that he struck with Florida International University. I believe in the contract he got the use of 10 dates a year, I want to say, which is smart on both accounts. When the stadium is just sitting there empty, he could have a concert. I think he has like right of halftime performer, and it could be like a Pitbull-related performer. So just one of his buddies, I guess, whatever. Kind of a weird thing, but, I mean, kind of cool if you're a school like FIU trying to get some attention. What do you guys think? What's your initial reaction to Mr. FIU?
I think it's great for FIU. Well, not great. It's just who would have thought that Pitbull would be, first of all, buying rights to any stadium and then picking FIU. I just want to know how that phone call went. Like the secretary that forwarded it to whoever it needs to go to. Like, sir, I have a Pitbull on the phone. He wants to buy our stadium. What?
Mr. Worldwide is on the phone.
Mr. Pitbull is on the phone online.
No,
like
he went there because he couldn't afford the naming rights to the Miami Stadium.
Hey, that very well could be the case, but like, I don't know. Do you think that Pitbull approached them, or do you think that they approached him? Like, who approached who here?
Pitbull definitely approached him first. Why would FIU approach Pitbull? Do we know if Pitbull is a sports fan? Does he know that it's FIU and not Florida State or Miami that he's buying this? So I hope he does perform at the first game. So he also gets 2 press boxes, 2 suites or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's 40 people each. I hope he brings like 80 friends, performs at the first game, and there's like 11 people in the stands.
It'll be the most it'll probably be the highest attended game that they ever had. And the first one, whoever they're playing, we can look that up in a second, needs to be a sellout. He needs to do like a pregame concert or something like that. I think it's brilliant. This new day and age of like NIL and looking at different rights. And I think Howard's head basketball coach said the other day, unvetted, by the way, university did not vet this, that he was looking to try to sell 1/3 of the team to like a private equity fund. So yeah, that's a little weird. The university didn't vet it at all. Said, hey, we're not going to do that. But like Michigan State basketball is the Michigan State Spartans, presented by Rocket Mortgage. Yeah, different ways to find new revenue. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because Pitbull is the FIU of rappers, so it's a good fit.
I was listening to Odious and Giglio the other day. They did mention that he did recently play Cary, North Carolina, maybe like a year ago, which not Raleigh, not Charlotte, Cary. That's like coming to Richmond and playing short pump. So he's a little bit further down the pecking order these days. So maybe this is a match made in heaven. Though it did get me thinking. If you have Mr. Worldwide and his name is now on the stadium at FIU, what could we do with the rest of the ACC? What could we do? So I put together a couple of things. I want you guys' reactions to this. Miami, obviously. You would think Pitbull and Miami would be a match made in heaven, but not so much. But the Canes can bring out some big guns here. You got DJ Khaled, you got Shakira, you got Rick Ross. I could have went with Ariana Grande. I could have went with J-Lo possibly. I could have went with Gloria Estefan. They got a lot of people that Miami could potentially bring out to sponsor the Hurricanes, put their name on the stadium. What do you guys think about Miami possibly here?
I like the Rick Ross and DJ Khaled connection there. Rick Ross was probably a correctional officer for some of the former players. But yeah, that's DJ Khaled is all about Miami, so that's cool.
Okay. Scotty, did I leave anybody out off the Miami list? Is there another musician from Miami? I have no idea.
I'm sure there are. I can't think of them.
Trick Daddy. Should have been Trick Daddy.
That's right. Yeah. I personally would take DJ Khaled out for Trick Daddy.
Really? He's like the best promoter in like the history of like promoting things.
That's why I said personally.
Okay. Isn't he on like every rap album saying like we the best in the background? That's like all I know.
Yeah, or
he's got a bunch of number one hits.
Okay.
He's like funny. He is I don't have his Snapchat, but I see a lot of like podcasters talking about his Snapchat.
Snapchat's hilarious.
Okay.
But it's like I don't even know if he's trying to be funny. I think it's just like he's just a weird dude.
Well, Miami football hasn't tried to be funny for the last 20 years, but it has been. So maybe
it wasn't funny when their coach didn't kneel on the ball last year and cost me a parlay.
Well, he's in Durham now, sir. So, yeah. All right. So, well, actually, no. That was Manny Diaz was a couple years ago. No,
yeah, still there. Cristobal, right?
Yeah, Mario Cristobal is still there. You're right. Okay. Well, they got to be thinking about other schools. This one was a little bit harder. Scotty, your beloved Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, everyone thinks, Metallica. Yeah, that makes sense. Metallica, Virginia Tech. Does. You understand, man? They've been doing it for a long time. Metallica likes money. They killed Napster. They will sue you. They're not going to pay money to put their name on the side of the stadium. They want money to come to them. So then I thought, well, it is Virginia Tech. What are their fans like? Moonshine, not having teeth, jingling car keys, meth. But then I thought, you know what? Those bands can't sponsor anything. They don't have any money. Like you only get so much on that card on the 1st and the 15th. So they can't do it. But then I thought, well, what else do Virginia Tech fans like? Shitty bars. Really shitty redneck bars. So I looked up redneck bar band, And I believe these guys are called Redneck Bar Band or something like that, but they're from California. And this works perfectly. So insert whatever random hole-in-the-wall redneck bar band. Maybe you could have a rotational display after you sell your aluminum cans each week, Hokie fans. You can switch out the band. What do you guys think? Redneck bar band for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, looks shitty. I assume they sound shitty, so it works perfectly.
Yes. If you look closely, too, they have the Gadsden flag on their wannabe Sons of Anarchy motorcycle cuts. I think that goes a long way in Blacksburg.
Yeah, let's get a band from California. Yeah, that makes total sense instead of just putting Metallica up there.
Well, you know what? They could have been nomads. You know, they look like they're bikers. Maybe they don't claim California. Maybe they claim nomad status. I don't know, but they look trashy and like they've done heroin, so they'll fit right in with Virginia Tech fans. Number 2 here on the list, Virginia. Now, by the way, this is the most full Scott Stadium's been in, Lodi's 15 years. Thank you, Chris, for the blurred out thing there. This makes sense. Dave Matthews. I mean, he's a Charlottesville guy. Went with the obvious choice here. I don't think there's a lot of analysis here, but did I miss anyone? Is there anyone else that it could have been?
Maybe Michael McDonald, Yacht Rock. I'm sure Yacht Rock is big on the grounds.
Ricky Martin did come to mind, given
that makes sense.
The proclivities of the fan base and the football team, the way they play. Ricky Martin did come to mind. Coldplay came to mind as well.
You're getting better.
Yeah, maybe even Nickelback. But it's Charlottesville. It's got to be Dave.
Nickelback's too good. I was thinking like Vanilla Ice, Paris Hilton, maybe. Hoobastank. Maybe some Hoobastank.
Love Hoobastank. Who doesn't love Hoobastank?
I don't think Hoobastank has thought about Hoobastank since 2002.
Exactly. UVA fan. I love Hoobastank.
Oh, damn. I don't think
what musician makes you think of drinking a Zima?
Michael Bublé.
There you go. Michael Bublé.
Michael
Bublé is cool as shit.
He's got that awful song, was it Just Haven't Met You Yet or whatever? And like Virginia could take the field to that song and like have a picture of like the ACC championship game. It's like, I just haven't met you yet. Actually, no, they went there. Clemson's still scoring from that appearance in 2019. Yeah.
Who puts out one good record every 20 years? That's who should buy a spot.
Is Leonard Skinner still alive? That's way too redneck for Virginia Doe. Next up, Virginia's more southern cousin would be North Carolina. As you can see, the stands are quite empty because, well, it's North Carolina. But this gentleman apparently is named Petey Pablo.
You know exactly who he is. Shut up.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that haven't been popular in 20 years, is he alive? Is he dead? No one knows.
I think he's alive.
Is Rick
We need
Ross,
to make that a weekly segment.
He's
Hardly alive.
Is Rick Ross guarding him in prison right now? No one knows. Has anyone heard of Petey Pablo since he released the 75 different remixes of Raise Up?
That might be racist. No, I can't stop it.
Yeah.
He did Freak a Leak after that.
Yeah. And then he was in the movie Drumline.
My wife
I did not know that because I didn't watch that movie.
Yeah, well, Chris, you know what? You had more brain cells than I thought. My wife watched it yesterday, and I wanted to exchange myself with Evan Gershowitz, who just got out of that Russian prison. I would gladly take his place rather than watch Drumline. But yeah, Petey Pablo, I think, makes sense for North Carolina for obvious reasons. But also, it's something that hasn't been relevant in 20 years, like Carolina football. No one really cares about it anymore. And the people that listen to it, much like the people that actually do care about Carolina, probably go to Walmart. Because North Carolina is one of those weird fan bases where you have the wine and cheese crowd, but you also have the Walmart hillbilly crowd too. And then you have like the ghetto crowd. North Carolina is all encompassing. So I feel like Petey Pablo can unite the entire Tar Heel fan base.
Twist around your head like a helicopter.
Next up here on my ACC rundown here, I mean, I think this is just a match made in heaven, right?
Basketball.
Yeah,
You got
he's a
Duke.
front runner.
He is a front runner. Duke football had a great year last year. Now, albeit all the players left, head coach left, Manny Diaz is now there. Maybe they're on the come up. Maybe he's buying low, but he likes Duke. He wants the access. He wants to be there. And also, what's something that a lot of people like, but everyone hates? Duke, even though it's more so basketball, but just Duke in general. A lot of people like Duke, but people hate Duke. A lot of people like Drake. People hate Drake. He's also very phony and corny, just like Duke. This is a match made in heaven.
I can see that.
Yes.
You've convinced me.
Yes. Scotty, anyone else that Duke should have been?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything. I mean, who's connected to Duke?
There is
and like CEOs and shit. I don't know. Where did Duke grads go after they graduate?
They go to the NFL and they play quarterback for the Giants very badly, named Daniel Jones. And other than that, once Daniel Jones gets cut by the Giants, inevitably, they work for one of the big three Wall Street firms. That's what they do.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list here. The only one I see that I know that, Leon, you're definitely not going to know is Mike Posner.
Well, I found this gentleman this afternoon, and I looked him up, and he had a very punchable face, so he did look Duke.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's what I would take.
All right. Next up here on my ACC rundown here. Oh, was Miami. Never mind. That hit them all. I thought I had in there.
Wait a minute.
Hello, Carla. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Scotty. Your medium does look nice on you, sir.
Where's your NC State graphic, Leon?
So I left it off. The most famous NC State music alum is Scotty McCreery. Like, no one's going to know or care about Scotty McCreery. And then,
that's perfect because nobody knows or cares about NC State football either.
Hey, what's Virginia ranked this year? How many games are they supposed to win?
At least they know who we are.
Also, I thought, look, what do state people like? They're like classier, smarter, better looking Virginia Tech people. So, they like country. They like rock music too. But, Jason Aldean's a big Georgia Bulldog. That wouldn't work. Eric Church is a Tar Heel, even though I think he went to App State. Luke Combs is an App State guy. We don't have anybody. There's the band American Aquarium. No one's ever heard of them. Like, we just don't have anyone.
Once again, fits perfectly.
Maybe Scotty.
Yep, pretty much.
I almost had Liberty. They're not ACC, but I was thinking about doing the rest of the state.
And God.
I couldn't figure out which Christian rock band would represent Liberty. Are they a
not
switch?
POD?
No, I got the perfect one.
Was
I got
that
a perfect one for Liberty. Phil Collins, I'll be watching you.
Boo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tuck boy Falwell.
I was wondering, are they jars of clay or are they switchfoot? What's your level of Bible study, Liberty? Which
jars of gay? That's what Liberty is. Terrible, terrible place.
The comments, Chris Greener, not those. Let's not do this.
Which hitter?
Yes, but jars of clay, probably or switchfoot.
The Newsboys. They'd be the Newsboys.
What the fuck is a newsboy?
Exactly.
That sounds
terrible Christian rock band.
Are you
that a bartender of ours enjoyed growing up?
Are you in Christian rock like chat rooms that we don't know about?
No, I had to grow up with this shit.
Are you soaking with BYU people?
You got caught up in that cult.
Without a doubt. Brother, good to see you again. We need to get back to our Richmond home bar to see our cult again. And when we're in occupied Virginia, as I like to call it, Northern Virginia, we go to Dudley's Sporting Ale in lovely Arlington, and we get our beer and wings and wares there. Go check them out and tell them Let's Not Do This podcast sent you. Also,
not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. We are friends. We are friends. We're talking Chris. We're in that stage when you start texting a girl, you wouldn't know about this. When you start texting a girl, and you hang out a couple times, and things are going okay. You're not going steady yet, There's been no hanky-panky, but intentions are there. That's where we are. That's where we are. Okay.
Gotcha.
We're about to get friend zoned, basically.
Story of my life.
A school that would still have Art Browse as football coach if people knew how to friend zone there was Baylor. And Baylor, keeping it real, this was a school that was in the Southwest Conference with SMU back in the day when they got the death penalty. And now you got coaches out at practice wearing shirts that say "We pay players." Is this the greatest marketing tactic of all time?
It's pretty good when you want to. They got to carry the league now. Texas and Oklahoma are going. They got to do something. They got to make a splash.
You don't think Deion Sanders in Colorado and the stories are coming out about the money and the guns and the gambling debt are going to carry the Big 12? Yeah.
And he's going to be a great Cowboys head coach next year.
Probably. I love this shirt, though. I kind of want to buy one. We may have to go into the Let's Not Do This podcast budget to get the Big O, a very big green "We Pay Players" Baylor T-shirt.
Do we have a budget?
Yes, we do. It's called a slush fund, and we keep that away from you, Chris, because it would just be spent on menthol cigarettes. Do we not know our audience? Yes. So, all right. Baylor keeping it real. NFL preseason in a few minutes here on NFL Network. If you are so inclined, the Patriots and the Panthers are about to kick off. If you're watching that game, you have some problems. Was it no Bryce Young for Carolina tonight, I believe? And then another game that no one can see unless you're in New York or the Detroit area is Lions and the Giants. Of course, I'm quite intrigued about that game for another reason, because they've been fighting all week long. Didn't both teams get fined like $200,000?
I didn't hear that, but I know Daniel Jones was involved and probably started one of these fights.
He did get mixed up in it earlier in the week, which I kind of want your take on this. Do you want your quarterback in that? Now, Daniel Jones is in a different spot. It's not like, Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, you don't want Patrick Mahomes anywhere near any kind of fracas like this. But Daniel Jones is a guy who's like battling for his job. And, you want the team he's got to win the guys over. Hey, I got your back. You always see linemen fighting for the quarterback. Hey, he's getting there and mixing up for his guys. So I kind of like that. But at the same time, you can't have your quarterback in that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
He's a bottom third quarterback, so I don't really give a shit. If it was our quarterback, no. Keep him the fuck away from everything. He's got potential. We know Daniel
especially
Jones sucks.
Meaning Jaden Daniels of the Washington, we haven't changed our name yet this week, Commanders.
Correct.
Yeah, especially in practice. You don't want him doing that. I think maybe he didn't even realize he was getting in the middle of a fight. So about 10, 15 years ago, I was really drunk at a bar, and I saw a commotion outside. And so I ran outside, me being really drunk, to see what was going on. And all of a sudden, people were getting dropped left and right all around me, and I'm in the middle of a fight, and I didn't even realize what was going on. So I think maybe that's what Daniel Jones did.
No, he started it. He went after the guy.
No, he was. Yeah, I don't have the video of that one. I wish I did, but he was in the mix there. Scotty, did you break a beer bottle over anyone's head?
No, I was going to find my friend.
Your friend being Chris, who was being stomped behind the bar.
And then I turned around and saw somebody get dropped. I'm like, why am I out here? I went back inside.
We almost saw some people get dropped in camps across college football and the NFL this week. I'll start with college. App State. Sean Clark, his Mountaineers. Very good football team. Very good head coach. But did you guys see the footage out of Boone, North Carolina? Well, if you haven't, take a gander here. For those of you that are listening on the podcast here, this is footage from App State practice. 2 players getting into it after a drill has been completed, and one gentleman taking off the helmet and swinging it at his own teammate. Does it appear that he hits him with that helmet?
Yeah, because he goes down.
He hit him because he fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drops. Yeah. So going Myles Garrett on your own teammate during the middle of your own preseason camp, not a good move. Not a good move.
Yeah, that's wild. Didn't DK Metcalf do that too?
Yes, DK Metcalf, and I unfortunately don't have the video of this, but from Seahawks camp, DK Metcalf, apparently, what was it, a cornerback? It was Trey something. He swung at him with a helmet, and NFL Network was there live during Seahawks camp, and they were doing like a sit-down shot. The guys were sitting in the chairs, and you could see practice behind them. And then at that point, you see the helmet being swung behind the reporters, and they turn around and, hey, here's one of the best receivers in the league committing, felonious assault with a football helmet.
Yeah, that was wasn't that Brian Robinson? Or not Brian Robinson. Fuck. What's the guy's name?
I thought it was Trey something.
No, the guy, the reporter.
You mean Michael Robinson?
Michael Robinson, yeah.
Yeah,
Brian.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the DK one, but the App State guy, like you gotta kick him off your team, I think. Because first of all, he bumped into the quarterback, which you don't do. And so the offensive lineman is just trying to push him back, protecting his guy. Can't just take your own teammate's helmet off and fucking pretty much knock him out with it.
It's kind of scary.
There's a line. I like moxie, right? I like guys that are going to mix it up, and you want to play to and through the whistle. That's what they used to always say: play through the whistle. But there comes a point when you're going Myles Garrett on people with a helmet, you've crossed that line. Especially
with your own teammate.
Yeah, your own teammate. That's your brother. It's like fighting your brother. You get into a fist fight with your brother, you're going to sling it out, but you're not going to like curb stomp your own brother, unless you're Cain and Abel, for those that are biblically inclined. Talking to you, Liberty. But yeah, you're not going to go and do that. There's just a line you don't cross. So, I don't know. Well, what about camp fights? Do you guys like them? Is there any point to them? If you were a football coach and there was a fight in camp, would you guys let it go? Would you break it up? How would you handle those things?
Yeah, you got to break it up, but you like to see the passion as long as it doesn't go too far, I would think.
Yeah, depends on the team too. If you're playing a team way beneath you, you don't really want to see your guys fighting, or at least not starting the fights.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want to see your guys have some aggression and some fight, act like they care.
I think during the middle of the season, you definitely don't want it, and you shouldn't have it. But in camp, you want to see a little bit of that spirit. Jim Harbaugh had given an interview to Pardon My Take this week before the NCAA came down with his show cause penalty. And he'd given an interview was saying that when he was at Stanford, one of the things he got rid of was they apparently had a tradition at Stanford, the prior coaching staffs, that when a fight happens, like during the field, they stop, they wait till afterwards, and then fight in the locker room. And he was like, hey, we stopped that immediately. Like, how does that make us better? Kind of reminds me when Bronco Mendenhall was at Virginia. Remember that story that everyone forgot about with the naked Virginia players in the locker room fighting, and they were calling it ramming?
No.
What?
This was early during Bronco Mendenhall's tenure at Virginia. There was articles that were coming out. I think some guys had transferred out of the program were talking about one of the things they were doing was like fighting in the locker room, and the guys were naked, and they called it ramming. That was very early on.
Sounds like some UVA shit.
That's the Michael Bublé. So, yeah.
Could have just left that story out, Leon. That would have been great.
No, I'm glad you told it.
Context matters in these situations, okay? Context matters. All right. Speaking of camps, NC State, their camp going on right now in Raleigh. Hurricane Debbie forcing Coastal Carolina to relocate their camp from Conway, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach's poorer, dumber cousin. And Brandon Cleveland of NC State had a little fun in the rain today. That is just disturbing. That man is like 6'5", 300 pounds, with the half of a shirt, rubbing his belly like Chris after a Chinese buffet.
I do love a good buffet.
In the pouring rain.
I was going to say, I thought that was you, Leon, when you see your chicken wings coming.
Oh, that's very true. No.
Oh, damn, that sounded racist.
It was a little bit racist. What's got? I got a 42. I got some watermelon, huh? Jesus.
That might be racist.
Hit the button.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
Turn
you.
the volume up on that. It's a little low.
A little low.
It doesn't get very loud.
Just like your IQ. It's a little low. Speaking of football, all right, so I know it's probably been a little bit before I think any of us have been to an NFL game because why would you when you can just watch at home? But
Never been.
What's that?
Never been.
You've never been to an NFL game? All right, we're taking you to Commando Stadium so you can get shit rained on you from the pipes.
I'm good.
But the Arizona Cardinals apparently want to give you diabetes at their games this fall. I give you the cotton candy burrito that will be served at, what is it, State Farm Stadium? I think it is. In Arizona. Would you guys try this?
What is that green shit in the middle?
More cotton candy.
Yeah.
So is the outside cotton candy?
Yes, the outside's cotton candy. There looks like there's some Fruit Loops and some M&Ms in there. This is addictive, like worst nightmare.
Yeah, I'd split it with somebody.
And of course,
if I had to for content, I would do it. I really don't want to.
I'd try it.
Of course, like everything, it looks better in that promotional thing the Cardinals put out than when someone filmed it there. I guess they had some preview day thing. It looks a lot better on that graphic.
Leon, we can't hear you.
Yeah, it mutes us when you play video, dumbass.
I'm not smart. Anyway, it looks absolutely.
You just came out of the closet, didn't you?
But yeah, it looks.
That thing is huge there.
It's bigger than a Chipotle burrito right now.
That looks
on the picture it looks small.
I do it for content, but I do not want to try that at all. I would not be happy about it.
Well, if you go into a Cardinals game and you can't buy a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey yet, what else can you do? There's nothing. There's no other reason to go to a Cardinals game than to look at the new uniforms and eat that.
Can you even
catch a sugar high
at a game?
Can you what?
That thing's got to be a mess.
Oh, it's gonna be so sticky. Ugh.
Yeah.
Imagine
you're gonna have to use silverware for sure.
Wet naps.
Imagine everywhere making $8.74 an hour to clean those like stadium seats afterwards, and just some family's gonna get it and split amongst like their 3 little hoodlum kids, and it's just gonna be awful. Just sticky little fingers everywhere all over.
Yeah.
God,
yeah. No, thank you.
You just unlocked the new, just feral children with sticky cotton candy burrito fingers at Cardinals. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. Never mind. I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's too big.
Well, maybe the Cowboys should bring something like that to their camp because apparently no one cares what they're doing these days per Pat McAfee show.
There's like no fans at the Dallas Cowboys training camp, allegedly. Now, that has never been the case for the Dallas Cowboys for anything. They sell out everywhere. They move the needle. That's why they're on primetime. What does this mean in your eyes? That the fans have just quit on them? The fans haven't showed up on them? The LA Chargers are near. The Rams are obviously near. They got Harbaugh. You got a new Stafford deal. You got McVay. Have they just given up on him in LA? Or is this an entire storyline about the Cowboys potentially doing a little bit of a transition era into what's next for the Dallas Cowboys?
I think a lot of this is reflective of the offseason that they've had. They've done nothing this offseason, and I think there's really no enthusiasm around the team other than what they drafted.
Michael Lombardi on with Pat McAfee there. What do you guys think? I kind of agree with him though. You normally like people are beating the drum talking about Dallas, and outside of contracts getting done for like Dak and CD, there's really no other talk coming out of the Big D.
They haven't done anything.
Go on, Scotty.
Yeah, like whoever that guy was talking at the end, they haven't made any moves. They haven't really done anything recently other than losing the playoffs, and it looks like that's their ceiling this year is losing another first-round playoff game. I've already said that I think that Jerry Jones is punting on this season, and he's going to have a head coach in mind to bring in next year, which I think you wanted to talk about later.
Yes.
But yeah, why? What's there to go see?
Yeah, Jerry doesn't like Dak. He didn't put anything else around him except for they brought Zeke's fat ass back, and he's a bum. So what do Cowboys? They haven't signed Parsons. They haven't signed CD. They haven't signed Dak. They're getting ready to fire their coach, draft a quarterback, let Dak walk, probably trade CD Lamb, and probably Mike Parsons. Mike Parsons, in all his podcast shit, doesn't sound like he really wants to be there. Sounds like he wants to go somewhere else. So why should anybody be excited about this team?
It's one of those things, though. It's America's team, per that 1976 NFL Films video. It's the Dallas Cowboys. It's one of those teams you always talk about. I mean, obviously Pittsburgh is there. They had the quarterback competition this year, which makes things more interesting there. But, I mean, it's just one of those things like baseball. No matter how bad the Yankees are, you're going to talk about them, or the Red Sox, or the Dodgers. It's one of those tentpole organizations. But it seems like this is the least amount that anyone's talking about Dallas, even locally. If you live here, obviously NFC East dominates all conversation, but it feels like the conversation's about the Giants, and maybe that's the hard knocksification because we saw all the offseason stuff, and then Philadelphia. And then, there is some enthusiasm. People are poking their head out, they're saying, for the Commandos a little bit, but it feels like Dallas is the team getting left behind in terms of the conversation, which is really weird to be in that role where like Dallas isn't dominating all the talking head shows.
Jerry Jones is losing his fucking mind, so I'm pretty sure the guy's got dementia. Allegedly, maybe. I don't know. This is just speculation.
But Stephen Jones sues you, sir.
Sues me for what? My 1/3 share of the Caledonian Braves.
Speaking of undefeated,
yes,
the Caledonian Braves are undefeated since we've became part owners. They won yesterday, being down a man pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, I think in the third minute they got a red card and held on to a 1-0 win. So we got that going for us. But Chris, Stephen Jones will take your cardboard box behind the beach house establishment that you do live in. So,
but yeah, I think we've had a couple of bandwagons come along that have taken some of those Cowboy fans too. There was the Steelers several years back, started getting all those bandwagon fans, and now the Chiefs. So yeah, I wouldn't really necessarily call them America's team anymore.
Several years back, everyone that drove past a steel mill with the windows down in the 80s, claims to be a Steelers fan of some sort, people.
Yeah, then with like Roethlisberger, they started picking up some more people.
Well, you had to surround yourself with people when Big Ben was around because you might get, what? I'm not going to complete that joke. I stopped. I took a Kaepernick.
You're about to get sued.
I took a Kaepernick on that joke there, and I've never been more proud. All right. So speaking of proud, you're proud of the boys that are in the USA basketball team. See what I did there. As they managed to escape a certain shame in losing to a bunch of chain-smoking Serbians today in the Olympics. What was the score? I didn't even know this game existed until one of you guys texted me because, I'd rather be shot in or swim in that Seine River than watch USA basketball in the Olympics.
think it ended up being 95, 91, something like that.
Yeah. You're so patriotic, Leon.
I know.
Sports fandom outside of soccer, I want us to win, but I don't care to watch anything whatsoever. No,
Yeah, I didn't see the first half, but I know that Serbia was shooting lights out, and I mean, they got some good players over there. Obviously, the Joker. They have Bogdanovic. Couldn't really tell you who the other guys were, but they've been together for a long time. They're a good European team. Yeah, they were just shooting lights out for the first 3 quarters. Then it all changed in the fourth quarter. Embiid was actually making some shots in the fourth quarter. He had like 19 points, even though he kept giving up offensive rebounds like left and right. But yeah, Steph finally had his game, and fourth quarter was a team effort. Durant had his moments. Steph, LeBron, Embiid. Yeah, just a full team game, and I think I don't think it's going to be a close game against France. I think that would team USA up. I think France, being the home team, is actually going to pump USA up too, and I'm looking for like a 20-point win.
Is Embiid done with his role as a sleeper agent? Wasn't he like allegedly like a double agent or something? Because he could have played for France and he could have played for Cameroon, I believe, right? But he chose to go with USA. Will he put the ball in the right basket when we take on the Frogs?
I don't see him playing against France, to be honest. They haven't played very much Gobert, and I think his matchups are over with. France doesn't have anybody that he needs to guard. He can't guard Wembanyama, so I look for a lot of Bam and Anthony Davis. Not much Embiid in this game.
Wait, so Rudy Gobert is on the French national team.
Yes.
We'll talk about Noah Lyles here in a little bit. He apparently ran COVID, and people are getting sick in the Seine River. Is Rudy Gobert touching everything in Paris right now? Because he was patient zero for COVID in sports.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole sports world shut down after he went beat bopping and scatting all over the podium. All right. Is he zero?
No, that's why Donovan Mitchell left. For sure. I mean, he might be. Who knows?
I literally just thought, can we get him tested? Please, can we get him sequestered? This could be like the Olympics games, thankfully, are coming to an end soon. Everyone's going to disperse to their home nations. If Rudy Gobert has spread some sort of pathogen, it's just going to be worldwide. We're going to be in lockdown 2, electric boogaloo, because of Rudy Gobert. Again. I cannot have this. All right.
Yeah, Kerr's probably going to play Embiid too many minutes. He has like some kind of loyalty to him for some reason, especially he had a good game. So he'll probably play him too much, and France might jump out to like a 5-point lead, and then he'll take Embiid out, and then we'll run away with it.
When is the gold medal game between USA and France?
I believe it's Saturday.
Saturday.
Should be Saturday, I think.
We should put something on the line, between those two countries. Maybe they can play us, and if we lose, they get the Eiffel Tower back. Maybe if we win, which I'm sure we will, and I hope we will, maybe we'll just take over their country since we saved it twice. Just saying. Make things interesting. I don't know.
Right. Do you mean the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty. They gave us the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, you said Eiffel Tower.
Oh shit!
All right.
Well, you know what? We'll.
I just looked up our French American celebrities. So the loser gets Ellen DeGeneres.
You know what? Indeed, go ahead and do your thing. Wait, the loser gets Ellen?
Yeah.
So we want them to lose. Okay, go LeBron. LeBron's my guy. I need you to go out there and drop 45. I had to think about that for a second. Go out there. You want LeBron, put up a 50-piece. Okay, let's get that bitch on a plane over there and let's go.
He had a triple-double today.
There we go. All right, well, speaking of triples, Noah Lyles finished third today. Apparently, what event was this? I have no idea. I don't know nothing about track.
The 200 meters.
200 meters. Okay, how many is that?
Okay. Question though. Is it really necessary to have a 100 meter, a 200 meter, a 400 meter, 800 meter, and then like a 15? Is it really necessary to have all them events?
Why not?
Thank you.
Or not have like a 1, 5, a 1, 5, and 15? Do you really need
Because
a 1, 2, 4, 8?
The track is 400 meters around.
Well, there's too many
You do
events.
a quarter, a half, a whole.
So 1, 4, 1, 4, and 15. Call it a day.
It's just like swimming. There's too many swimming events. That's why I'm like, look, taking nothing away from Katie Ledecky. She's amazing. But she's got like 87,000 medals because there's 87,000 events. LeBron has a chance to win one medal. That's it. She can win 74.
Yeah, and she's not a billionaire.
Maybe she is.
There's
Well, no, I do think they should add like a 3-point contest. I don't know about a dunk contest.
you
They
want
should add some more.
NBA All-Star Weekend at the Olympics is what you want.
All the top guys would actually play for the 3-point at the Olympics.
How do you judge the dunk contest at the Olympics? Is there like
I said probably not a dunk contest, but 3-point contest for sure.
maybe you combine it? Maybe one of those girls that moonwalked underwater, the synchronized swimmers.
Synchronized swimming.
Yeah, underwater slam dunk contest. Let's judge that shit. Figure it out.
You know what I do like? Synchronized diving.
Synchronized diving's dope.
That's a
I
real
enjoy that.
It's yeah. I don't know how they do it.
breakdance sport. So who knows what's in the damn thing? So all right, well he finished third. He's got COVID. Don't you blow out your how could he race? Years ago, Florida State had to postpone a football game against someone because they had COVID and you remember the 2020 season. It was so weird. It's like one guy tested positive, so now 38% of your roster can't go, and skeleton teams are going on the road. How could this guy run in the Olympics? We've come so far in 4 years.
Dude is a freakish athlete. He's got asthma too.
He's asking why was he allowed to even race?
Yeah, he had to go home from the College World Series.
He didn't test until after.
So he knowingly ran with COVID.
Yeah, I go to work with COVID. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, God.
Yeah, but this is the Olympics.
The opinions of Chris Green are not those of the Let's Not Do This podcast or his subsidiaries. Okay.
The government isn't paying for tests anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. Who cares?
Okay.
The government said so.
RFK Jr., you and Aaron Rodgers out there.
I got a worm in my brain.
Yes. The COVID guy. It's just a little weird that in 4 years we went from one guy test positive, 2 guys, the whole baseball team needs to go home to this running the greatest sporting spectacle in the world, the Olympics. And
people were dropping like flies and there wasn't medicine for it yet. So that's half of it. They weren't vaccinated. So, medicine and technology helps.
YouTube is going to love COVID discussion, by the way.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised after what was in their water they had their swimmers swimming in, that they wouldn't disqualify somebody with COVID.
Yeah, that's...
The swimmers are you got COVID? Oh, you're so lucky.
Europe is a dirty fucking place. I don't know why people romanticize that place. It's that fucking continent. It's fucking disgusting.
Chris, you
all right, can we talk about the river?
Yes.
So they haven't let people swim in that thing since 1923, I think I saw. Either 32 or 23.
Something like that.
So 100 years ago, almost. So why are they having an event in it? They couldn't find anything else?
Well, they were trying to, from my understanding, they knew they wanted to do this, and they were going to clean it up, allegedly, clean it up. And I guess they wanted the iconic backdrop of having this legendary river through Paris. It'd be like somebody coming here, like the Olympics coming to Richmond and swimming in the James River, or going to D.C. and swimming in the Potomac. which you'll probably come out with mutant powers like Spider-Man if you go into the Potomac. But yeah, it'll be like that. Remember in Brazil when they did the events and there were like arms that they were finding in there and like needles and shit? Humans are terrible people. We have fucked this planet. We should not hold any sort of swimming events in like public open water. Just
I watched the replay. I watched the replay this morning. And I think it was a Dutch girl that won. And just seeing her face when she got out the water, it looked like she was dying. Like, I'm sure she was tired, but just the way she looked, I'm just like, she's probably got E. coli already.
Why didn't they just put they should have amended the rules this year. They should put scuba tanks on them and like scuba mask and like, let's see how fast you can swim with all the scuba gear on you. And who knows, maybe the French could have won. You get the French Foreign Legion guys, maybe the British SAS Special Forces, maybe we send SEAL Team 6. Pretty much it's just going to be a Special Forces swimming competition at that point with all the protective gear on.
I think Europe should just not exist anymore. Let's get rid of it. It's disgusting.
There was another joke I was going to make. Stopped myself. Censored myself twice. I should not be the voice of reason.
That might be racist.
Thank you.
You see the guy that decided to sleep outside in the park?
In Paris?
One of the Olympians. He said whatever room they were staying in, he said it was too hot. And I guess their AC wasn't working.
They don't have AC in the Olympic Village unless they brought it.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said the food was shit, so he said he just went outside and slept there. There's a picture of him.
Europe is the Ohio of Earth.
Thank you, Chris. I find myself in a weird spot where I'm making a lot of agreements with Chris, so I know I'm on the wrong side of history. But I'm proud to be on the wrong side of history. Thank you. Europe is the Ohio of Earth. It's an awful, terrible, dirty place filled with dumb people that smoke. It's Ohio.
The Eiffel Tower is their football Hall of Fame.
Yes, it totally is. But no, seriously, the Brits were making fun of the food. They were saying there were worms in it and stuff.
Well, first of all,
give them
they can't. They can't.
When you're fucking known for fucking fried fish and French fries as your national dish,
beans and fish, not even
beans
fries.
and toast.
No, it's fish and chips.
Fish and chips, beans and toast.
Chips are fried.
A fucking beef corn dog.
One of my favorite things to watch is the British students try American food.
Yes.
And they're just like blown away by like chicken or like
oh my
soda.
God, that's flavor.
Can you just stop for a second and realize that Scotty thought that the Brits ate beans and fish?
They do, don't they?
No,
beans with everything. They eat beans with everything.
It's part of
beans is like fries to them. No, they eat beans with everything.
Fries are chips. Chips are crisp.
No, I'm telling you,
cookies are biscuits.
With everything.
They call cookies biscuits. Shut the fuck up.
Cigarettes
Get
are.
rid of Europe.
Cigarettes are.
Get rid of Europe.
We'll let Chris answer that one.
Delicious.
I watch men. No, there's a term that I'm not going to use on this podcast.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say. Okay, yeah.
Don't be afraid, Jasper. You got hate in your heart. Let it out. All right.
It was a friend of ours' fantasy team name in our league a couple of years ago.
Yes. Before we get canceled and get out of here, there was a non-sports thing that we wanted to get to. Oh, the hurricane. Yeah, the hurricane causing all kinds of havoc. We talked about that. NC State, sharing their facility with Coastal, who came up. Scotty, you had the story that apparently the hurricane is channeling the real Rick Ross, not the security guard, but it is pushing it to the limit by moving a lot of
Well played, sir. So yeah, Hurricane Debbie. First of all, terrible name for a hurricane. But yeah, it blew $1 million worth of cocaine.
Hurricane Blue with 37 guys. Sorry, I watched Clerks.
Might have, probably.
But go on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it blew $1 million worth of cocaine onto the beach in the Florida Keys, per the U.S. Border Patrol. So I think this might have
got it.
influenced Pitbull. This had to be the influence for Pitbull. It had to be.
That's where the sudden influx of cash came from, allegedly. That's a great way to wash that money. Oh, this cocaine came on shore. I got to do something with these undeclared funds. Let's make a donation to a university. That is a great way to launder some money. That's literally been laundered because it's been through the ocean, which is probably cleaner than the Seine in Paris. That is a brilliant.
Yeah.
Need to work for the FBI because we might have just busted Pitbull's money laundering scheme, allegedly. Yeah. Yayo. Is the yayo still good after it washed ashore? Do we know?
It's wrapped in plastic, isn't it? And duct tape.
That's very true. But how good it? Well, duct tape is.
This motherfucker.
It's a good seal.
Maybe they put some Flex Seal on it now.
How do you think Virginia Tech fans insulate their home in the winter? It's a lot of duct tape. So
no, that's a UVA drug.
Well, the cocaine, sure. The yayo, sure.
We're talking about duct tape.
But the duct tape, it's all. That's how I-81 works together. That's how Virginia Tech works together. Thad buys the yayo, and Cletus wraps it up down there. That's how we get the 81
That
corridor.
might be racist.
How is that racist?
Cletus.
Sorry.
If you say Cletus, you're being racist. Unless you're talking about an actual person.
I'm sure
Nobody just says Cletus.
in the annals of Virginia Tech history, in the annals, whatever the word is, anal, whatever. I'm sure you can go and look it up. I know someone named Cletus has gone there. There has to have been. You know what?
Sure.
Who's the president of Virginia Tech? Was it Sayans? I don't even know. Whoever it is, somebody look it up in the history. Tell me, it's probably like in 1938. They had a guy named Cletus T. Judd that graduated with a degree in pig husbandry or something like that. It's probably valedictorian. What was the exam? How to give a pig a reach around. That's what they did in Blacksburg.
I'm pretty confident you've never been on campus or anything.
Oh, I've been there. It's the coldest, worst college campus I've ever been in my entire life. Whatever the temperature is, take 38 degrees off, add wind, and make the day so dreary you want to sleep in traffic. That's Blacksburg. I imagine that Ohio and Ohio State's probably a lot like that. Just add a city center setting and take away the mountains. And
Blacksburg is the Ohio of Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what?
No.
Blacksburg might be the Athens, Ohio. Didn't Joe Burrow say it was like a terrible place full of meth and broken dreams? Isn't that they're probably very akin to each other.
You're thinking of Hopewell. Blacksburg's a beautiful place.
Hey, breaking news before we got on this podcast. Didn't what was it, a fox testify?
Yeah.
Rabies in Hopewell?
Yeah, so the guy, it was like fighting a dog in somebody's yard. And then they found out the fox had rabies. I think a person bit the fox, and that's how I got the rabies. But yeah.
Did RFK Jr. plant the fox there too, like he did with the bear cub? And that's a real story. Look that shit up.
God.
How is there two RFK Jr. references on this show?
I don't know.
We're off the fucking rails.
I just want to know if he planted there. There is no hope in Hopewell. We've said it many times. That should be the slogan for the city. And now you got rabid foxes running around from people probably taking them on dates to the Olive Garden because that's Olive Garden's a classy restaurant kind of town. It's Hopewell. That's good eating going out to the Olive Garden.
They have a Olive Garden in Hopewell? I don't know if they do. They gotta go to Colonial Heights for that.
Whew. When
they got it's
that.
Or Petersburg. One of the two.
Jesus. Can we just make a list of cities that we can trade? I will trade those places to Eritrea. There's got to be some industrious Eritreans in nice areas that can benefit from being in America. We can just build a wall around Hopewell and just send it to Eritrea. And then a part of Eritrea where we can annex and call it America. I'm sure there's something nice there. Like an exchange program. Like a permanent sister city swap.
I'm down.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to run for mayor of Hopewell. My slogan's going to be build that wall. And I'm going to build the wall around Hopewell. So they can't get out.
I hope your dumbass gets stuck inside.
Yes.
I don't think that's
when they put the
the
dome.
strategy you want to go with. You're not going to get any votes in Hopewell doing that. I don't think.
They can just make their X down there and they'll be okay. They don't know what they're voting for. I'll just, leave them a bucket of meth and they'll be all right. Some of that yayo from Miami, and they'll vote for anything. It's a place that God forgot, like Ohio,
like Europe.
Yeah,
but go Trevion Henderson though.
Oh yes, sure. I was waiting for the political reference there. I was like, oh yeah, no, he's a running back. He got out of there, and then he naturally went to a place that's very similar, Columbus, Ohio. You just got to take a guy out of his environment. Hopefully, when he gets drafted, he goes to Seattle. Go somewhere nice, young man. All right. On that note,
let's go.
Wrap this thing up and get the hell out of here. And before we get out of here, I know what I'm going to do when this show is over. Coach Sam Pittman, what's that?
Well, I believe I'm going to have my old cold beer. And that's kind of what I like to do.
Coach, I'm going to have me old cold beer. Woo Bigsuit. Hope well, there's no hope. You can go to hell.